first off, let me before I go on. What are you having problems with? I should have asked you before.
I think I keep like, whenever this changes,
Yeah.
I keep changing it, and it's
Yeah.
changing the pose a lot.
Yeah, right. So here's what you do. In this case, it's called dancing with the figure. You sometimes, and especially like if they're kind of like moving around a little bit, what you can do is just wait for them to get in the, just watch the positions, observe the positions, and then when you choose a position, understand this is the position I'm going with, and then work the anatomy from that angle, and don't keep on trying to follow it, because you do have two different positions here. You have one where she was leaning.
Yes.
So you see that. So essentially in this position, which we would go for more of, it's a little bit closer to how she is right now. I would go and just say, okay, like you have this shoulder right here, and then this one might be going down some, fine, but it's going to be kind of, this angle is going to be something like that still, kind of, maybe not so much like that, maybe kind of in between the two, something like that, because you had it going up a little bit too much, you know? So like, that's how I would handle that, and like kind of correcting that piece. This right here is a little bit too chunky. Like you have, you have that problem. Yep, you like that, don't you?
It depends.
All right.
Where is it? Where's the chunk?
It's not your butt.
Well, no, I don't.
There you go. So essentially what it is, like when we're doing this part,
Yes.
so like starting with the shoulder's kind of coming down some. Here, let me do it on this side so you can see it better. So the shoulder's coming down some like that, and then you have the deltoid that kind of pops out just a little bit like that. And one of the keys is to elongate those lines, and then from there, and to really try to get the, you know, the actual angle, right? So this is the armpit, how it kind of comes down, and then it kind of comes in like that. But you have this piece here, and then what happens is, you're like, okay, it breaks about right. If this point's here, it breaks about here, and it kind of swoops down, something like that. And so when you see, and so you get these subtle angles where, so because you have this in a different position, it makes it look kind of just like a giant knob. And so one thing that you can do, I actually was talking to Brian in his lesson, with straight lines, I know you think straight lines like this, but you can kind of arch the line just a little bit like that, or you can arch it just a little bit kind of the other way like that, just slight things. They're still straight lines, but it gives kind of the convex concave look, and that helps, especially right here, if you have, it subtly goes in, but you want to keep a straight line. So you can kind of put, and that's a subtle thing, so you're focusing on where the lines break, the angles and the lengths and the widths, all those things, and then you're trying to look back and understand it holistically. These are hard things to do. This right here, this is hard because this has been covered up for you, okay? I get that. So the way that I would go about here, like if you're looking like this point right here, going across, normally there's going to be a breaking point about right here. So starting from right here, like that hip, it kind of comes out, and then there would be some breaking point about right here, coming down. So that's what you would have there, 1 and then 2. But you got that more or less. I like how this looks. This shape's looking good. And just give me another, like 1 more minute, okay? And so essentially what you need to work on with this is your technique. You need to clean your technique up because, and you can see right here, like all this stuff that you've done right here is very sketchy, but I guarantee you if I was to go through and clean this up just a little bit, you know, like this, and I'll do that that here. Look at this, watch. So we have this here, and I'm just going to clean this part up just a little bit there. I'm going to take away that point right there. I'm going to work with these points here, 1, 2, and then this part right here. Now, even just doing that, now we can kind of see what we need to work on, right? And so then that's when we can go through and start putting like a little bit more solid lines, okay? So there's like more of the shoulder right there, and then if it kind of slopes in some, we can kind of do that little accent right there. And so I'm kind of just wisping that on, and then I'm going to come in here and sculpt it out just a little bit, right? Like this is how we do it. We sculpt everything as we go. So even just doing that I didn't really change your proportions, but we fixed it up a little bit. Your shadowing is okay, but you're like, if you zoom in, it's like like that, whereas it should be a little bit finer.
Okay.
You know, just practice going across. Is he mouth breathing again?
No, I'm trying to figure out who's shading.
That's Lewis.
Okay.
Good, I'm glad somebody's learning.
Yeah.
The model, none of us who are
At
drawing.
least know the sound of it.
Do you have any questions?
No, that's helpful.
Good, good. Well, look, as usual, yours is way better than these idiots right there. Very proud of you. Good job. Good job. Don't move. You have to stay.
Oh.